So until now, actually, we have seen that there are broadly two types of, and they are addition. In the first one, we saw that small blocks add to one another to form either a long chain or something like this, like one chain, then another chain, then another chain, like this. So it's only that we have to add small blocks. That's it. In the second type, we saw the second type was condensation polymers. And over here, we have to do a very simple thing, that first of all, in this we saw that all the small blocks or your monomers, they were actually bifunctional groups. And in this we saw that it means that they should have at least two functional parts, like two COOH groups or two NH2 groups or the else. So what happens in them is that you have to add one of the component with another component, and in this process what happens is that you have to eliminate H2O. And as for example, if I have something like CH2, COOH, and here I have something like NH2, CH2, and else something. So in this case, simply you have to first remove from here, just one OH is removed, from here one H is removed. So we have to remove one H2O complete part and just add them. So that's the types. So now we have to learn something more about them, or we have to learn how are they formed. So let's start. So the topic we have in our hand is, the topic says types of reactions or types of polymerization reactions. Polymerization reactions. So in this section we will only learn about the reactions. How are these blocks added to each other, all the formulas and equations. Okay, so under this section we will learn about two main reactions, and of course they are, first one is and the second one is the same. Reaction. Okay, so from the first reaction, addition, you get addition polymers, whereas from the second reaction, condensation, you get condensation polymers. Okay, as we learn more and more, in the end we will also see a third type of reaction, and it is known as copolymerization. Okay, so let's start learning about them one by one. So let's start with the first reaction. So the first reaction is addition reaction. So in this reaction, the first point, what happens is you have to just add small monomers. So this reaction occurs by successive addition of monomers units. The second important point is how are they added? So they are added. So there is a intermediate formation. Okay. So in all the reaction, we see that there is a formation of either a free radical, which means it looks something like this, CH3 dot. It might have a carbocation, something like a CH3 plus, or it might have a carbanion, something like a CH3 minus. Okay. So what happens is that in the NCERT we have only this. These are not there. So let's learn only about radicals. Okay. Now what happens is that we also this reaction addition is also known as chain growth reaction. Okay. So what actually happens is that addition reaction is also known as chain growth reaction, and the second reaction, that is condensation, is also known as step growth reaction. It's called as chain growth as the small blocks add one after the other. So from 1 it forms 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6, then 100. So chain growth reaction. Whereas in the case over here, what happens is that first of all 2 of them add to each other. You have to eliminate one H2O. Then they add to one more block. Again one H2O is, then again H2O, again H2O. So the second reaction is called as a step growth reaction. So let's start learning about the first one, that was free radical reactions. Free radical reactions. Okay. So let's start with one example. What is the most used polymer? You know, the most used. The most used, they are plastics, or yes, we all use this compound for a lot of ways, as bags, some films, and etc. I want to ask you, how how you form this compound, how this is formed. So you will be surprised to know that the compound of polythene is formed by the free radical reaction. How? So what happens is that in this case the intermediate as you know is a free radical. Okay. Now this reaction goes in, this reaction is a 3-step process. The 3-step is chain, so the first one is chain initiation, propagation, and the last one is okay. So what happens in this is that first of all you have to start the reaction. You have to start it. Then after that you have to continue it. And then after that in the end you have to stop it. Okay. So by this I mean that in the first reaction you have to start the reaction by adding 2 units of the blocks. In the next one you have to add them one after the other, like from 2 to 3, then 4, then 5, then 6, then 100, like this. Okay, and in the end finally you have to stop the reaction so that you have a fixed compound.
Thank you for watching. Visit us at needbook.in.